Hello guys, myself is Venki. So here I'm gonna teach you how to write a simple trigger in Salesforce. Generally people are struggling to write a trigger, at least simple logic, for a simple logic to implement the trigger logic. So here I can make you comfortable to write it, easy to write a trigger. Okay. So here generally the trigger logic very simple to write in Salesforce. The main thing is the logic was there in a requirement only. If you guys observe the requirement clearly, generally the trigger require comes are the two types kind of thing. One is to update the cross object field values and another one is to update the same record. So what does mean by here? To update the cross object field values, that means here we are doing some changes in one object and we have to update the changes in another object. And another scenario to update the same record. So that means I'm doing changes in one object, but we have to update the same object only. If you observe the requirement here, two kinds of requirement generally I'm talking about it. And first requirement, so here we have to we are doing some changes in one object, but we have to update in another object kind of thing. So that means here we are involving two objects basically. So that means here I can observe, I can treat as a source and destination. Source nothing but where we are doing changes, either UI level or another level, and where we have to update from trigger, that is called the destination object. Okay, so now here, so the first scenario to update the cross object field value, so always the source and destination might be different. And to update the same record, here source and destination are the same object. So here the almost 50 words logic we have. You know that. So now I'll make you too comfortable to write a trigger both the scenario very simple way to follow the 9 steps kind of thing. In general I'm talking about it. Okay, so the first one is the first scenario to update the cross object field values. That means in this scenario the source and destination are the different object. In this scenario, so we should have to follow the trigger template 1 as per my standards. The steps are total we have 9 steps. If you understand the 9 steps, then we can easily write the any trigger logic if the source and destination are the different objects. The first step is in a requirement we have to identify the source and destination object very clearly. Source must be same one object, but destination might be a different objects. The second step is we should have to identify the source and destination must be have some relationship to a trigger. It might be direct way or indirect way. That is a required. The third step is to start a trigger on source object with the required event. So where we have to start the trigger, where we need a trigger. So people are struggling where I can write a trigger and where I can start the trigger. Okay. So in this scenario, so we always start to write a trigger in a source object level. So people are struggling where I have to start trigger as. So that is the reason the first step we need to identify the where we are doing changes, that is a source object. So in that object we need to start at a trigger with the required event. Then after next object, next step kind of thing, identify the common field in between the source and destination. Identify the common field in between the source and destination. This is a very key point, the entire trigger logic. Next step is to create a collection variable to track the common field of the source object. And next step is iterate the source object records and track the common field value of the source object and store into the above we create the collection variable. And next step is write a query and destination object to bring the required field information from the destination object based on the collection variable. Next step is iterate the destination object records to do the actual business logic. Then finally we can perform the DML operation on destination object. So if you follow the 9 steps, we can easily write the any trigger logic. I can explain with you one small scenario. I'll go through with the scenario. So I'll cover the steps kind of thing. Okay. So here, if you take one requirement or one scenario kind of thing. So I'll give the one scenario. This is a basic scenario. Whenever account record was updated, then update the respective contact records description field value from account record from account description. So this is a scenario. Whenever account record was updated, then update the respective contact records description field value, or we can take as a phone also. It makes sense kind of thing. We can take as a consider as a phone. I want to update the contact phone same as to the contacts. So we want to update the contact phone number same as from the account phone. If you observe in this scenario, in this requirement, here we have involved two objects. One is account and the second one is a contact. Okay, so here where the record was updating in account object. So that means we have to want here we need where we are doing changes in account object, but we have to bring a contact level. So now here, so source might be account and destination might be a contact. Both are different objects. So now we have to follow the first scenario steps. So the first step is identify the source and destination. So I can copy the steps from the sheet. So here we use a source here. Source equals to account. Take it as always API name cell. And destination is contact. So this is the first step we have to follow. The second step is check the relationship between the source and destination. So it's already exists because both are standard. What I will do, I'll take all the steps. So I can say here answer is yes. The next step is start write trigger source object. So here who is the source object here? Which is the source object here? Okay. So what is it basically trigger syntax? So I can say trigger name I'm taking as account trigger as per the standards on account object. So which event I have to use? So here I'm saying update. I have to use here update. Again update we have the two scenarios before and after. Let's focus on first of all after. Then why can't we use before update? I can explain the next class. Okay, I'm taking it by default after update. So this same thing how we can achieve before update, we'll see, and when we can go for the after and when we go for before, that we can see little bit later. Our next step is we complete this step. And what is the fourth step? Fourth step is identify the common field in between the source and destination. This is a key point. This is a key point. Common field. Why we need to find the common field in between source and destination? Why? Because of whenever we are being like when we are updating some contract record, account records, we have to update the associated contract records only. So due to that reason, so find out the common field in between the source and destination. So here we have one trick is how we can go and identify the common field between source and destination. So just in between source and destination, who is the parent? And who is the child from the requirement? So source might be parent, source might be child, and destination might be child or parent. So don't think on that. In between source and destination, we have the two objects. In the two objects, who is the parent, who is the child? So we came to know account is a parent, and obviously contract is a child. The parent level always the common field is ID because there is a primary key. On contact in child level, the common field always a primary key in database point of view, in database language. But on our Salesforce point of view, we have to use relationship field. Relationship field we have to use. Which field is connected to the account? It might be maybe one or two. So which one you are considering? Take that one. So here the relationship field is actually account name, that is a label name, but API name is account. But this is standard relationship. We have to use. We need to add IDs extra. So blindly remember the parent level always ID. The child level we have to use the relationship field. Okay. So this is a step 4. So what is step 5? Next, create a collection variable to store the common field value. In which object? From the source object. So now here we have to show the unique data, unique information I want to track. So now we can take as a set variable here, set of the common field always must be a ID data we already know, obviously. I'm taking here is the IDs, new set of ID, and this is a step. Create a collection variable to store the, we can take as a set map list anything, but my point of view I'm taking as a set map. And the next step is iterate the source of the records and track the common field value of source and store into the above collection variable. Iterate, that means what are the source records we are updating in the source object, what are the records we are updating. It might be 1, it might be 2, 3, 4. The UI level how many records we are updating in the same time step. So we have to take all the records. So we can assume we are updating the 5 account records at a time. So we need to update the 5 associated contract records. How we came to know what are the records are updating the UI level currently. So in that time we have to use the trigger context variables called as a trigger.new and track all the new versions of records. Okay, so here the step was saying iterate the source of the records. So how we can iterate? We have to iterate the source of records by using the for each loop. I hope you are applied for each loop. So for each I'm using on the right hand side I can pass it trigger.new. The left hand side we have to use the object name, like so now we came to know these are the clearly source object, nothing but account. So I can use here account is my destination source object. I can create one reference, we will call it A. the automatically the A will point to the first record, second record, third record, like that. In the first record, what is the common field value in account level ID? That ID we need to store in the collection variable. So what is the syntax to add the value to the set variable? So we have to use the function called the add function. This is a function to add the value, and I can say a.id because of we need to track the common field in a parent level only ID value. And next step is write a query and destination object. Write a query and destination object. So in our requirement point of view, who is the destination object here? So here the contact is a destination object. As per the requirement, contact is a my destination object. Okay. So I'm writing the query and destination object. So those records I want to track in a collection variable. So here I'm taking as a list. So even we can take as a set and map also. You can say as a list. So here I'm writing query. So we have write a query to bring the required fields. So ID is after that. So which field you want to update? I want to update the phone number. So phone from the contact. Which contacts you want to fetch? Only associated only. So here I can add the where condition where we have to compare common field in a child object. Okay, what is the common field in child object? So account ID. We need to use in operator and compare with the ACC IDs. Okay. So here always we have to take the common field in a child object level, that means destination object, and this value same as in a we are going to store the set variable. So that is the reason we need to identify the clearly the common field between the source and destination. So we came to know what are records you want to update. Now we need to update the respective records. So the next step is iterate the destination records. So how we can iterate? We already know the destination records are count list kind of thing. So I'm taking, I have to use the for each loop. So I'm creating one reference variable C. So I can say as a count list. And here, which field you want to update? So I want to update the phone. So C dot phone equals to, this is a question mark for temporal I'm putting, because of this field we want to update from the actually account. That is the actual business logic. We'll see little later. So the next step is, the final step is perform DML operation on destination object. Okay. So now I can say here to update the contacts, we have updated the destination contacts. Either we can update all records, might be like so we want to filter it. We don't want to update all the contacts. So who has the different phone number, then only we can change it. For example, already the contact have the same phone number from the account. Why you need to update it once again? So based on that scenario, again we need to add the extra logic. So this is like in a basic way. Next class we can see the same logic how we can able to optimize it. Okay. So here I can say as a update. So this is completed, almost logic is completed. So come to the base logic, we have to update the contact phone number from the account phone number. In this place, how I will get the account phone number? If you think, the queries we have generally two categories, child to parent and parent to child. So that means if I write a query in a child object level, we can bring the parent data also. How we can bring? So as per the syntax, we have to use here on the same query, the relationship field name dot, the relationship field is here account. Here account is not an object, is a relationship field. Then I can say as a phone. Then automatically we will get the contact corresponding associated account phone number also. We take this phone number and we can update here C dot. That's all. Logic got completed. Okay. So then take this one and copy this logic into the same thing. We can write the logic in a CS file without the comments kind of thing. Okay. So I'm taking the logic. I'm going to the Salesforce. As per my scenario, who is my destination source object? Account. I'm going for the account object. So the navigation is set up, customize, account, and triggers. Click on the new button. Then write the entire logic in this page. Okay. So already I have written logic. So same logic I can take it from here and I'll paste it. And after that I'll do the comments, because if so some text information we need the actual logic only. So I'm putting as a these are the extra steps. The actual title as this one only. So this is also I'm making as a comment to here, and again this is also comment I'm making as a comment, single line. This is also single line. So this is also single line. And here also we have this. So I commented my comments in my logic. So now I'm trying to save the logic. Variable does not exist unless in line number 51. So let me try to figure out what is error. So maybe it's a typo issue. So I can replace the exact value and try to save it. Open it. It was saved. Now we went to check it that it was working fine or not. How we can gonna check it here? So who is the source object here? Account. Go to the account here. Pick the one of the account who has the contacts. Just I'm taking as a new email account. And here we have already one contact is there. Okay, so I'm going to update the phone number from here. Generally, if you generate the contact from the account, it automatically update. But I'm taking a scenario how we can update the phone number from here to contact level. See here, you can observe here. What are the phone number I'm updating? The same number it was updated in the simple. So instead of you want to change it also, just go here and I want to change the phone number. Just instead of phone number, we have to put as a description. I want to change it. So take here description and put as a here description from the account description and change the same field in this place and here also as well as, and try to click save and go back to the object. Now here I'm updating, so trigger logic check, click on OK and try to save the account record. Now we can open the associated contact record. So now considering here the discussion trigger check. We keep on changing the field value, that's all. So this is a basics way we can edit trigger logic, and later onwards we can optimize. This is we cannot say exact performance kind of thing, but this we can optimize it later onwards. The main agenda is at least you guys need to add the trigger. Perfect. Fine. So consider the following steps and try to implement some logic. All the best. If you have any queries, reach out to my website. Call us VTMIT Solutions. And my personal email is running for SMBC 501 gmail.com. I hope you enjoy the class. Bye bye guys. Catch you next class.